Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would just like to say that storm that is going to be sitting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on April 9th is super duper giant sized. All right, I mean, it's probably not going to have any major effects on anyone, but I'm just still amazed at how big that storm is. It's almost like the size of the United States. Okie dokie. All right, with a couple hours left to go in my fundraiser, I just wanted to say, if you would like to contribute to keep THORnews up and running, I've got a mail address you can send to, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, and a Patron, and only $634 left to raise. A couple hours left to go. But you guys are awesome, and I'm super grateful for you. Let's talk about the weather, because tomorrow, Tuesday, you may be getting some intense severe weather action we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto, but actually it would be in Kansas. So stay on the lookout and good luck chasing, Mike. And then on Wednesday, the area of danger expands to Tennessee, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Texas. And so we've got, 50 hours of severe weather coming up. So let's look alive, because the last tornado outbreak, people died. And after a calm and dry spell to start off the month of April, we are looking at flooding areas again through Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, and parts of Florida over the next week. Speaking of Florida, the crappy story with toxic elements about a possible phosphate reservoir second breach is on the table. That's right, Tevin Wooten letting us know a drone spotted a potential additional leak at about 2 a.m., forcing another evacuation of engineers at the plant. So you've got like wastewater and toxic water in a reservoir that could break, and if it did break, could cause anywhere from 10 to 20 feet of flooding for surrounding areas. So this is still an interesting story that should be monitored, especially if you are in that area. Hey, while the weather has been pretty dang calm in the United States of America over the last few days, it's been pretty wild over the pond in Europe and for the United Kingdom. Owen Humphreys letting us know wild weather on the northeast coast of Tynemouth, UK. Strong northeast winds bringing winter conditions to the bank holiday. They're getting some pretty major nasty storms. And I just want to say, several people have pointed out to me from different regions that the oceans have been pretty insane lately, and that the riptide deaths have almost doubled from normal, whether that be in the U.S. or around the world, that for some reason the oceans just seem a bit angry. And while I've been obsessing about that big low in the Atlantic, there's also a big low in the Pacific, which right now apparently is not a threat to anybody. But it does remind us that hurricane season is less than 2 months away. And so if you'd like to contribute so I can drive around a little and have a little fun before hurricane season gets here, that would be great, because I will give you guys my all, as I always do, during hurricane season. They're saying it won't be as active this year as it was last year, but technically nobody really knows. On the space weather front, we've got one decaying sunspot, as we're still closer to solar minimum conditions. We are solar maximum conditions. And we've got a solar prominence. Today the sun is quiet, except for one location near the sun's southwestern limb. There's a beautiful prominence rising into space. Oh, the sun is beautiful and magical. Plus, this week, Earth's polar magnetic field could be disturbed by the arrival of a minor solar wind stream. That would happen on the 6th, which is technically right now. It is midnight, specifically here in Texas, or the 7th. So let's keep an eye out for that. And with solar minimum conditions, you get a little more colder winter. Don't get caught off guard by falling ice or ice eruptions if you're in Russia or Europe. Rounds of ice and river water eruptions were recorded on camera in part of south-central Russia last week. While the scene may look like a dazzling water fountain show, It's actually a strategic operation to prevent major flooding in nearby towns. Wait, what? Weird. There's something rotten in Denmark. By rotten, I just mean snowing. Okay, I tried to make a joke and it wasn't funny. Snowfall in Copenhagen, Denmark, April 5th, thanks to Carolise Seltenas for the report. And man, this was posted with permission. Yep, Europe was seeing very winter conditions this week. But the USA is pretty much now almost full tilt, headed towards summer conditions. The record-challenging heat that overspread much of the southwestern United States during the middle of last week is refusing to relinquish its grip on the region. And today we had a bit of a earthquake swarm in California. And I got to say, last year I thought there would be a 95% chance of some type of volcano eruption in California. Technically, I think we saw it with the fire season, but they just didn't tell us. And so let's say I think we have a 96% chance to see some type of volcano activity in California this year. Just putting that out there, man. Although if I had to guess, the actual volcano activity might come somewhere around here or down here. We'll see. But I think this fire season is just going to be freaking nasty and bad, as we've been seeing a lot of fire alerts across a lot of places in the lower 48 the last few weeks. All right, let me cool off that volcano talk with a little bit of mixed precipitation. Here we are looking at the 48-hour chart map model thingy, and you can see that some parts, like Wyoming and such, will be getting snow and ice, sleet, but the more east will be getting rain, wind, and possible tornadoes. Let's take a look at that red spot at the bottom where they think the activity might be on Wednesday. But yeah, we've definitely got multiple rounds of possible severe weather this week. So I'll stay on top of it for you guys because that's what I do. And sure, I'm a little behind on this month's fundraiser, but I took a week off in March and I got a car. Driving is so awesome. Anyway, thank y'all. Yeah, if you'd like to contribute, hey, still got a couple hours in this fundraiser, and I would really appreciate it. At this point, I don't really have enough money to go driving around. I want to go to the ocean. Anyway, plans here defense is a team sport. Hawaiian myths speak of great sea floods and the rising of the sea to the hills. This suggests that tsunamis have impacted Hawaii coastal towns in the past as they do today. We can learn from our past to prepare for the future. And I gotta say, I felt like I had a really good idea of what was coming in 2019 and 2020, and I did my very best to prepare y'all for it. But 2021 is just going to be filled with surprises. And so, at a time where Americans have never been more divided on pretty much just about everything, I can't stress enough that people really need to work together. Because it's like bargaining. That the public, if they're going to bargain for human rights and their own rights, whether it be natural disasters or whatever, in a changing technological future economy, that, yeah, man, they really need to stop fighting with each other. But we'll see what happens. Life is a cliffhanger, and we are in the future. But yeah, man, I'm an optimist, and I'm going to stay an optimist. I had a great March, and someone said April would be better than March for me. I don't know about that, because March was pretty awesome. But we'll see. I'm open to having a super great April as well. Man, this whole wastewater, second breach, Piney Point story is weird. I gotta stay on top of it. I need to look into it more. I need to find out, is it phosphate or poop or both? What a horrible way to die. Granted, there's not really any, there are only a few good ways to die, but that would be a crappy way to die if you got hit with a tsunami of turds and phosphate. But we need to raise our vibration and our frequency. Anyway, there's just been a lot of elevated fire weather conditions lately. And as I've been documenting, the volcanoes are just freaking off the charts, bro. Oh, and I don't know if you made this far into the video, but there was another fault a rip in the Iceland volcano that is now ejecting lava. This is part of the earthquake swarm from California. And so, yeah, strange days indeed, my friends. Strange days indeed. Yeah, like, so it was like European Arctic winter this week. Then you had a bunch of wildfires up in like South Dakota and North Dakota. All right, so now we're looking at the second fissure in Iceland. Sorry it took me this long. See, like, I got my first vaccine shot on Saturday. I didn't know if I was going to mention it again because so many people like yelled at me. And yeah, I've been feeling a bit wonky and sleeping since Saturday. But that is how it's supposed to work. And supposedly if you had the virus, which I did in like October, November of 2019, like, it makes you feel extra wonky when you get the vaccine. Anyway, it's everybody's personal choice. And I want to remind people again, they're like, so many people nowadays are so sure they know everything 100,000%. And those same people were totally wrong about everything they predicted in 2020. And so, life is a crapshoot, and you take calculated risks, and that it is your personal choice whether or not you're going to get vaccinated. And that to be a dick to people who choose to get vaccinated or not get vaccinated, it just doesn't help anything, and it's really not cool. But like I said, a lot of people, I guess, draw their power and identity from insulting people on the internets. That's like the number one thing they do. It's their number one talent. And that ain't me, bro. I'm just saying, that like life can be hard as it is. So why try to make life harder for other people, especially if they haven't done anything to wrong you? Anyway, they got a lot of landslides and problems in Indonesia with flooding. You had like almost 100 people killed. And so I want to say thanks again to everyone in Asteroid Fight Club, the Astonishers, Atmospheric Defense Team, and just all weather weenies out there, that we've gotten really a lot better at responding to natural disasters of almost all sorts in the USA since 2015. And I would really like to bring Cranky Weather Guy back out of retirement. But like I said, it's just been like a slugfest in weather. I mean, like what? Do my videos nowadays get like 400 or 500 views? Even though I've been doing this and doing a great job at it for 8 years. Like I said, somehow if you want to have any success on the YouTube and weather, you have to join the Grand Solar Minimum gang. We're definitely not in a Grand Solar Minimum, as solar activity has exceeded everybody's expectations for the last 8 months in a row. And so I think it's a little bit of both sides, man. That like, yes, the carbon is probably partially warming the planet, but a carbon tax is a dumbass idea. It's not going to fix anything. And that, no, I don't think we're going into some mini ice age Grand Solar Minimum. So it's like opposition and controlled opposition. And so the public are never really given a good choice. And technically, we should be doing what we can to clean up our oceans and rivers and lakes and do what we can to be good stewards of the planet as Christians and human beings. Anyway, the weather narrative is like a big business, man. I'm just trying to get peace on earth because that's the type of dude I am. And if we all got along and we gave up war, it would definitely be a lot more enjoyable place to live, planet Earth. But yeah, stay tuned. Everything is a cliffhanger. Life. We are now in the future, and I'm surprised we've made it this far. It takes a lot to keep civilization standing and together. And I don't want to throw anybody into the bus, but I definitely think billionaires and trillionaires are operating on different timelines with different plans than they tell everybody else. So they keep us fighting with each other all the time. And their lackeys are just happy to be scraping up Bitcoin and Ethereum and cryptocurrency. So we'll see what happens. And then at the end of every day, every month, I have to depend on y'all to quote unquote pay my salary through contributions as Planetary Defense Commander. And that seems like a horrible way to find a girlfriend or get health insurance and shit. So who knows what's going to happen? Although it is my 7-year anniversary. I've been Planetary Defense Commander for 7 years on April 23rd. And I was hoping to celebrate on that day somehow. I did the research, and at that point, after my first shot, supposedly the vaccine will be 85% effective against the virus. So we'll see what happens. That party date is still like a little over 2 weeks away. But hey, if you would like to contribute and donate, I'm going to do the best I can to bring you guys the best information and news in April and then May and throughout hurricane season if possible. Snail mail would be great. Or PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, Patron. I've only got $634 left to raise. Although this is probably my last fundraising video for at least 10 days, probably. Maybe 9. We'll see. Yeah, 634. I gotta say thank you very much to Asteroid Fight Club. I mean, I got enough to pay rent and electricity, so I got nothing to worry about today and tomorrow. But I would like to have money to put in my gas tank and drive around a little bit. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please know that I'm grateful because I love my job and I love making videos. Oh, if that UFO video I did like 2 days ago, watch that. I spent a lot of time making it. It's edited. It's pretty great. A lot of good information in there. And, they have the disclosure coming out in June or July, so we'll be talking a lot more about that. And we're getting to Valiant Thor. Am I the bloodline of Valiant Thor? Definitely maybe, man. Definitely maybe. Anyway, thank you very, 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 very much to the Texas Angel, Melanie, Barbara, Charlotte, Juan, Miles, Preston, Alexis, Arnica, Glenda, Scott, Lightsoul, Dan, Daryl, Marlita, Brian, Max, KJ, Lauren, Richard, Randy, Jason, Randy S. The fact that I got 2 Randys is so crazy and cool. Fred, Mike, Josh, Gua, Kyle, JL, Ellie, Thomas, Darlene, and everybody out there, man. It is just so amazing that you guys have been supporting me as your planetary defense commander for this long. So I'm going to do the best I can to, regardless of anybody's political opinion, just bring you the best information I can from my own personal, non-biased opinion. Although, we all get biases through every experience we've ever had in life. But I really care about human beings, and I really care about us getting to a better place. And I really don't want the bad guys to win, and I want better days to return. And I do believe that things get better into solar maximums. And so we should have 5 years to improve everything. But we got to put in the work. All right. Stay cool. God bless everyone. And I love you.